Estelle Darcy. I welcome you to Taboo But True, where we uncover the stories others shy away from. In this episode, our incredible performers take you deep into the heart of Iceland's most perplexing and chilling criminal case. We unravel the mystery of two men who vanished over 50 years ago under circumstances that remain unsolved to this day. With no bodies, no motives, and only questions, this tale will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about justice. This is one story you won't forget. Now, let our commentators, who have delved deeply into the matter, take over.
All right, let's dive into something different today.
Okay.
We're heading over to Iceland.
All right.
And, not for the glaciers or the volcanoes or anything like that.
Great.
We're looking into a pretty serious case.
Okay.
It's the Guðmundur and Geirfinnur case. And this is known as Iceland's greatest judicial scandal.
Wow.
And it really is.
Yeah.
So we're basing this on an excerpt
Okay.
called the Guðmundur and Geirfinnur case, Iceland's greatest judicial scandal.
All right. So it's right there in the title.
It is.
We know we're getting into something juicy here.
Oh, yeah. This one's going to be good.
I can't wait.
So to set the stage for you, it's the 1970s in Iceland.
All right.
And we have two men who vanish without a trace.
Oh, wow.
And 5 young people
Right.
end up getting convicted of their murders.
Oh, so they think they were murdered.
Right. But here's the thing.
What's that?
There's absolutely no evidence.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So no physical evidence.
Yeah. Nothing. No motive. No connection to the victims.
Oh, my gosh. This is crazy.
It's nuts, right?
That's wild.
So first we have Guðmundur Einarsson.
Okay.
And this is in January of 1974.
Right.
He's a young laborer,
Hmm.
and he disappears after a party
Oh, boy.
on a freezing night.
Oh, no.
Like, imagine Iceland in January.
Bert. Yeah, that's
It's
cold.
bad, right?
Not good.
And he's last seen walking alone in the snow,
Oh,
possibly disoriented
no.
and intoxicated.
Oh, gee.
So there's this speculation that maybe he fell into the ocean or
Right.
just succumbed to the elements, it was
Yeah.
freezing.
Yeah.
So they do these extensive searches.
Okay.
They find nothing.
Nothing at all.
Nothing.
Wow.
So then we have Geirfinnur Einarsson.
Okay.
And this is in November of 1974.
All right.
So not even a year later. He's
Wow.
a family man
Okay.
in his 30s.
Hmm.
And he vanishes after a really strange phone call at home,
Oh, that's creepy.
isn't it? Like, he tells his wife he has to go meet someone,
Okay.
and then he's gone.
And then never comes back.
Nope.
Wow.
They find his car abandoned by the harbor.
Man.
Again, no trace of him.
Gosh, these poor families.
I know.
It's scary to think about just vanishing like that.
Especially in a place like Iceland.
Right? It's a small community.
Yeah, everyone knows everyone.
Yeah.
And the excerpt really emphasizes that close-knit community aspect.
Right, because it makes it all the more unsettling.
Right. Like, how could two people just disappear?
Exactly.
Like, where could they go?
Right. It's not like a huge bustling city where
Right.
someone can get lost in the crowd.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
so imagine the pressure
Oh, yeah.
on the Icelandic police.
I bet it was intense.
Oh, it was immense.
Wow.
The public, the media, everyone wanted answers.
Yeah, of course.
Iceland had this really low crime rate.
Right.
So these disappearances were huge.
Right. It completely shook the nation.
Yeah, like it really kind of shattered their sense of security.
Right? Like if this could happen here,
Exactly.
what else could happen?
Yeah, and so this pressure,
Okay.
it really led to a turning point in the case.
Okay.
And not a good one.
Oh, boy.
Not a good one at all.
Oh, this doesn't sound good.
It's not.
Okay.
So by 1976,
Okay.
they're still no closer to finding these guys.
Right.
Public anxiety is just through the roof.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
And the police make a series of arrests
Right.
that, looking back, were more about appeasing the public than finding the truth,
Oh, so they just needed to arrest someone.
basically.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Not good.
No. And it's a prime example of how desperation can lead to tunnel vision.
Right. They just needed to pin it on somebody.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter who.
exactly.
Wow.
So they arrest these 5 young people,
Okay.
and they have no real connection to the missing men.
Wow.
No physical evidence, no motive.
This is crazy.
It's insane, right?
Yeah.
And the suspects themselves were just like a mixed bag. You had Savor Sizielski, who is a little bit rebellious,
Okay.
Guðmundur Geirfinnur, who was really into the occult, and then some others who seemed like they were just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Wow, so just a random assortment of people.
Yeah, and their diversity almost underlines that lack of focus in the investigation.
Yeah, like they weren't even looking for a specific type.
No.
They were just like, anyone will do.
Exactly. It was as if they were trying to fit
Yeah.
like square pegs into round holes.
Right. Just grabbing at straws to try and make some kind of story.
Yeah, they wanted a narrative that fit the public's expectations.
Right.
But they weren't following the evidence because there was none.
Wow.
Yeah, and it gets worse.
Oh, no. How could it get worse?
So to get confessions out of these kids,
Oh, boy.
the police use these just brutal interrogation tactics.
Oh, gee.
So I'm talking prolonged solitary confinement,
Oh, gosh.
grueling interrogations, sleep deprivation.
Oh, my goodness.
They even used hypnosis.
Really?
Yeah, it's mind-boggling.
Wow.
Like, just imagine spending over 655 days in solitary confinement,
God.
like Tryggvi Runar Leifsson did.
Oh, my goodness. I can't.
It's been a long time, right?
That's unimaginable.
Yeah.
Just completely isolated.
Yeah, and that kind of isolation,
Yeah.
it just does something to you.
It has to.
Yeah.
Psychologically. I mean,
Right. You become so desperate for any kind of human contact
Right.
that you'll say anything
Yeah.
just to make it stop.
Just to have someone to talk to.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's the hypnosis. It's like something out of a movie.
Crazy.
Planting memories, creating this false reality.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
It really is.
And tragically, it worked.
Oh, no.
Yeah, under all that pressure,
Yeah.
some of them confessed.
Right.
But the confessions were full of inconsistencies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and outlandish details,
Mhm.
clearly the product of coercion.
Wow.
Yeah, and some of them even recanted later,
Okay.
saying that they only confessed to escape the torture.
Oh, my.
Yeah, but by then, the damage was already done.
Right. Once a confession is out there,
Exactly.
it's hard to take it back.
It is.
Especially with all that public pressure and everything.
Exactly.
Oh, you. Oh, 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 oh.
Dear listener, I would like to suggest you check out our website, manstew.com. There you will find many more stories, free podcasts, stories, books, movies and music from the rock years of the 1950s to the present day. Music, movies, fashion and cars. What else matters? manstew.com.
Oh, you. Oh, 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 oh.
Nice.
Now we've been talking about this crazy case in Iceland.
Right. This whole wrongful conviction thing.
Yeah, and it's just wild to me how, in a country like Iceland,
Yeah.
which is known for being peaceful,
Right.
that something like this could happen.
Yeah. It really shows you that justice can go wrong anywhere.
It really does.
Yeah.
So we left off with these 5 young people
Right.
wrongly convicted,
Mhm.
their lives totally derailed,
Yeah.
just to satisfy the public's need for answers.
It's a tough situation.
It is.
Yeah.
But the story, thankfully, doesn't end there.
Oh, good.
Yeah, our source mentions this key figure,
Okay.
Sevar Cicielski,
All right.
and he becomes a huge advocate for reopening the case.
That's great.
It is.
Yeah.
So what can you tell us about him and his fight for justice?
Well, Savar's story is tragic, but also inspiring.
Okay.
Can you imagine being branded a murderer,
Oh, gosh.
serving time for something you didn't do,
Yeah.
and then coming out of prison with this cloud over you?
Yeah.
Most people would just want to disappear, try to
Mhm.
rebuild their life quietly.
Yeah.
But Savar refused to be silenced.
Wow.
He just kept fighting to clear his name.
That's incredible.
It really is.
Yeah.
He must have had so much strength and determination.
Oh, he had to.
Yeah, to keep fighting like that.
Yeah, especially with the psychological toll
Right.
that a wrongful conviction takes.
Yeah. It's not just the injustice.
Yeah.
It's like you have to relive it constantly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he's challenging the very system that put him away.
It's amazing.
It is.
Yeah.
So she wasn't completely alone, though, right?
Oh, no. He had a lot of support.
Okay.
His family never stopped believing in him.
Of course.
And there were some lawyers
Oh.
and journalists and activists
Yeah.
who also saw the flaws in the case. Yeah, they were willing to stand up and say something wasn't right.
That's brave of them.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Especially back then.
Right, because going against that public opinion,
Oh, yeah.
that wasn't easy.
No, not at all.
So what were some of those turning points?
Sure.
You know those moments when those cracks in the official story
Yeah.
started to show?
Well, remember how we talked about the confessions
Yeah.
and how they were full of inconsistencies?
Mm-hmm.
Well, over time, more and more experts,
Okay.
legal and psychological experts,
Mm-hmm.
they started to question those confessions.
Okay.
They were pointing out the problems with the interrogation tactics.
I mean, I can't believe that those tactics were ever okay.
Right.
Like isolating people for months.
Yeah.
Sleep deprivation,
I know.
hypnosis.
It's crazy.
It's shocking that any court would see those confessions as real evidence.
Right. But back then,
Yeah,
people didn't really understand the impact of those tactics.
I guess so.
Yeah, they didn't realize how easily false memories can be created.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It just shows that our idea of justice,
Right.
it's fair.
Mm-hmm.
It changes over time.
Absolutely. Things that were acceptable then
Right.
are just horrifying now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So besides the confessions,
Yep.
what else contributed to those doubts about the case?
Well, there was the fact that there was no physical evidence
Right.
linking the suspects to the crimes.
At all?
Nothing.
Wow.
And forensic science was getting better.
Right.
So the fact that they couldn't find any DNA or fingerprints,
Right.
that really raised some eyebrows.
It's like they were trying to force a puzzle piece.
Exactly.
It didn't fit.
Yeah, they had this story of guilt,
Right.
but the evidence just wasn't there.
Nope.
Yeah, and then there were these revelations about evidence being hidden.
Oh, no.
Yeah, some documents that could have helped the suspects.
Yeah.
They just disappeared.
Wow.
And others were never shown to the defense.
That's messed up.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
It seems like they were trying to bury the truth
Right.
instead of actually finding it.
It's like they were more worried about looking good
Exactly.
than about justice.
Yeah, it's awful to think about.
It is.
Yeah,
But eventually, the truth has a way of coming out,
it does.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
So how did that happen in this case?
Well, Savard deserves a lot of credit.
Okay.
He never gave up.
Good for him.
Yeah, he kept speaking out.
Yeah.
Even when it seemed like no one was listening.
Yeah.
He became this symbol of fighting against wrongful convictions.
Wow.
Yeah. And his story resonated with people.
Good.
Yeah. More and more people started to question what really happened.
Okay, so it wasn't just Savar then.
No, it was a combination of things.
Okay.
You had his advocacy keeping the case in the public eye,
Mhm.
and then new scientific techniques emerged.
All right.
And legal experts started to re-examine the old evidence,
Oh, so the science caught up.
basically. Yeah.
That's interesting how those advances can change things.
They can really offer a second chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So by the early 2000s,
Okay.
things were different in Iceland.
Yeah, people were more aware of wrongful convictions.
Right.
They were willing to admit that mistakes could happen.
Even in their justice system.
Even there, yeah.
Wow, so it became a bigger conversation.
It did.
Yeah.
It wasn't just about this one case anymore.
Right, it was about preventing these things from happening again.
Exactly.
Okay, so before you get into the exonerations,
Okay.
I want to go back to something we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
We've been focused on the wrongful convictions, but we
Right.
haven't really talked about the disappearances themselves.
True.
What happened to these guys?
That's the big question.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, even though those 5 were exonerated,
Yeah.
we still don't know what happened to Guðmundur and Geirfinnur.
It's a mystery.
It's like a ghost story.
Right.
Mixed with a legal thriller.
Yeah. We know the lies,
Yeah,
but the original question remains.
exactly. So, did they meet with foul play?
Hmm.
Were they victims of accidents?
Or did they just vanish?
Right.
Maybe they started new lives somewhere else.
It's possible.
It is.
So we'll explore those questions
I-
in the next part of our deep dive.
Yeah, we'll look at the different theories,
Okay.
the evidence or lack thereof, and
Right.
see if we can make sense of it all.
I can't wait.
Yeah, it's a fascinating case.
It is. And for our listeners,
Yeah.
I want you to think about this.
Okay.
How does the fact that those men were never found,
Right.
how does that affect how you see this case?
Good question.
Does it make you even more curious?
Yeah, there are so many unanswered questions.
There are.
Yeah,
We'll be back soon to try and answer some of them.
I'm ready.
Oh, you. Oh, 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 oh.
Dear listener, I would like to suggest you check out our website, manstew.com. There you will find many more stories. Free podcasts, stories, books, movies and music from the rock years of the 1950s to the present day. Music, movies, fashion and cars. What else matters? manstew.com.
Oh, you. Oh, 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 oh.
Okay, so we're back.
Yep.
And we've been talking about this crazy case in Iceland.
Yeah, real roller coaster.
It is.
Wrongful convictions, coerced confessions.
Yeah.
And then on top of it all,
Right.
these two men who just vanished.
Yeah, it's like we solved one puzzle.
But now we've got a bigger one.
Exactly.
So let's try to figure this out.
Okay.
What happened to Guðmundur and Geirfinnur?
Well, there are a lot of theories.
Okay.
Some people think they met with foul play.
Okay.
Others think it was just a tragic accident.
All right, so let's start with Gudmundur.
Okay.
He was last seen leaving that party
Right.
on that super cold night.
Yeah. And he might have been disoriented, maybe drunk.
Right, so some people believe he just wandered off.
Yeah.
And died from exposure.
Right. It happens.
Yeah, but wouldn't they have found his body?
Well, Iceland's landscape can be pretty unforgiving.
That's true.
You know, it's vast.
Yeah.
And there were those heavy snows.
Right, so maybe his body was buried.
Yeah. And then by the time the snow melted,
Mm-hmm.
it could have been washed away.
Oh, or maybe he fell into the ocean.
That's possible, too.
Yeah, the ocean's pretty powerful.
Yeah. It could erase any trace.
So it could have been an accident or something we just can't explain.
Exactly.
Now Geirfinnur's disappearance,
Yeah.
that feels different,
It does.
right? It feels more deliberate.
Yeah, that phone call,
Yeah.
the abandoned car,
Mm-hmm.
it makes you think something else happened.
Yeah, like maybe he got mixed up in something bad.
Right. Some people think it was organized crime.
Really?
Yeah, maybe he owed money
Okay.
or knew something he shouldn't have.
Interesting. But if it was a hit,
Yeah.
why wouldn't they get rid of the body?
Well, maybe something went wrong. Maybe they were interrupted.
Okay.
Or maybe they wanted it to look like he disappeared,
Right.
not like he was murdered.
Okay. And back then,
Yeah.
forensics weren't as good.
Right.
So it might have worked.
Yeah.
And then there's a theory that he staged his own death.
Oh, yeah, that's a popular one.
Is it?
Yeah, some people think he was in debt.
Okay.
Or maybe he had a secret life.
Right.
And he just wanted to start over.
It's possible.
It is.
Yeah, disappearing in Iceland.
Yeah.
You could do it.
It's an island with a lot of remote places.
Yeah, so he could have got anywhere.
Exactly.
It's crazy how this case has so many theories.
Yeah.
From accidents to crime to just vanishing.
We may never know the truth.
Yeah, that's kind of unsettling.
It is.
But it's also fascinating.
It is.
It shows how much we want to know
Right.
what happened.
We crave those answers.
Yeah, and even with the exonerations.
Right.
That mystery's still there.
Yeah. It's like a ghost that won't go away.
It is.
Yeah.
So this case, it's a reminder
Right.
that sometimes the truth stays hidden.
It does.
It also shows how fragile memory is and how important it is to keep fighting for justice.
Absolutely.
So I want to hear from you.
Yeah.
What did you think of this case?
What stood out to you?
Did it challenge your assumptions about justice?
Did it make you think about the power of perseverance?
Or maybe the mystery itself is what got you.
Right.
Whatever your takeaway is.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed this deep dive.
It was a wild one.
Yeah.
And we'll be back next time with another fascinating case.
Can't wait.
Oh, you. Oh, 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 oh.
Thanks for listening. What do you think of this true story? Nobody, which means that no one has ever been proven dead, let alone murdered. No reason has been found for their disappearance. No trail and nothing. And yet 5 and actually 6 are convicted of murder. Murder of anyone, you might ask. Many books have been written about the investigation of this case. Let's put the investigation in quotes. Because in reality, some kind of confession was forced out through illegally long isolation and violence. A confession that all the defendants retracted when the beatings ended. Let's remember that these were actually kids, 20 years old and some younger than that. It has even emerged in subsequent investigations by journalists that the girl, Erla, was raped in prison multiple times. Not by another prisoner, not by a prison guard, but by a police officer. Would you trust the Icelandic police or the Icelandic authorities for investigating in an impartial and normal manner a case that you are involved in? Write a comment and share your opinion. New episode in our podcast every day. Until then.
Oh, you. Oh, oh, oh.